Hi, welcome to the program. Sandra is joining with us to talk about our unconscious mind and about how the mind is working as a introduction for it. Welcome, Sandra, to the program.
Thank
Sandra,
you.
tell us about yourself first. Who is Sandra?
Who is always changing, ever evolving. I am a hypnotherapist and NLP master, as well as a life and wellness coach in New York City. And I've been doing this for about close to 15 years now.
Mhm.
And I live in the heart of New York City in Manhattan with my husband and daughter and dog and cat, full house. And I have a private practice here and love what I do.
Okay. So, what's the best part of being a hypnotherapist?
For me, the best part of it is when you really see someone have a breakthrough and you really see change happen. And that to me is the most rewarding thing. You know, I've been doing this for so long and I see it on a regular basis. And still, every time it happens, I'm like, wow. You know, like there's still that wow of seeing someone either, stop a bad habit or perform better at work or get rid of pain or insomnia or whatever it is. It's such a rush when I get this phone call from someone who says, I did it, it's better, so that's the best part. And also the aha moments,
Mhm.
when someone makes that connection. Oh, this is because of what happened to me in summer camp. This is
Yeah.
because of the first job I ever had and how I felt abused in that job or whatever it is. So that to
Mhm.
me, that's the best.
Okay. And what was your childhood ambition? Did you think about becoming a mental health practitioner one day, or do you have anything
No,
else?
no, no, no. Well, no, definitely not. I was not a little girl running around saying I'm going to be a hypnotherapist. But
Mhm.
I did always know that I wanted to be sort of in service to people.
Mhm.
I went from wanting to be a teacher to potentially being a doctor. So I never quite knew exactly where that was going to lead, but I knew that I like to be sort of in service and helping other people and making a positive impact on their lives.
Okay. So let's get into the topic today. Uh,
Yeah.
what is the mean by mind? What's it called by mind?
Well, so this is a question that if you ask 1,000 people, you'll probably get 1,000 answers. And sometimes that can be challenging because, it's hard. It's such a big thing. And to not have an actual standard definition of it, tricky because people come with, their own preconceived notions about what mind is. So
Mm.
for me, I look at the mind sort of as the seat of consciousness, and I feel like it's where the energy and the information is kind of regulated. That's what I look at the mind as being, separate from the brain, which is different. So the mind is really the place of consciousness.
Okay. And how we can identify the segments of the mind or the parts of the mind?
So, again, people vary with how they view this, but, I tend to do a standard, there's the conscious mind, the
Mhm.
subconscious mind, sometimes that's called the preconscious mind, and the unconscious mind. Um, I could delve in a little bit about them, or we could, if you want, but those are sort of the separate sections of the mind for
Mhm.
me and the way that I work.
How the unconscious mind involved in our day-to-day life?
The unconscious mind is, I call it the great protector. I call it two things. I call it the great protector and the holder of secrets.
Mhm.
And sometimes, if we had to feel everything and deal with everything all at once in our lives, we would be just a mess. We couldn't do it. So, you have your conscious mind that's happening at this moment, everything you're aware of right here. And then
Mhm.
if you look at it as levels, on that next level, there's that subconscious mind where it's sort of, I look at it as sort of the background music. It's there. We can just bring it up if we need it, something like that. And then the unconscious mind can um, can be many things. It can be trauma from childhood,
Mhm.
negative things that we need to put away.
Mhm.
It's like it protects us. It puts it away. because it's too painful to deal with in the moment, or we don't have the tools to deal with it in the moment. But it can also be good stuff that we put away. You know, it could be your dreams, you know, like your biggest goals that you might be afraid of. You know, you might be afraid to try and attain some goals, but it's the stuff we push way down. So how it affects us on the everyday, it's kind of like a storage locker. You know, it's where we keep the deep stuff that we need to keep deep for now. And, you know, part of what I love about being a hypnotherapist, you know, yes, do we sometimes have to go in and visit the trauma? Yes, we do, because sometimes until we visit that, we can't move forward. But we also get to visit the dreams and, you know, the deeper desires. And that for me is super exciting when we get to go really deep and say, you know, oh, wow, you know, I totally forgot that I have this deep connection to A. I have this deep desire to B. So that for me is what the unconscious mind is doing every single day. It's sort of holding the deep stuff.
So what is your message you like to leave with our audience before we finishing our interview for today?
In terms of the mind and consciousness, my message would be, don't be afraid to explore. You know, don't be afraid to dig deep and play around with the mind and play around with consciousness, and also give your conscious mind a break. You know, rest your conscious mind, meditate. You know, if hypnosis is something you can do that. If visualization is something you can do that. But, you know, the conscious mind needs a rest. And also the conscious mind needs to rely on the subconscious and the unconscious for information. And also just to know that it's not this scary thing to work with the mind. It's not witchcraft to reprogram the mind if you need to. It's just science. And it's just letting go of things and adding new things to places of your consciousness. So don't be afraid, play with the mind.
Yeah. Okay, Sandra, thank you for your contribution and your help for our audience to understand more about their conscious and unconscious limitations and overcome the way to handle those things with their mind. So we hope to catch you again in our next copy as well to talk more about this mind and how we can use it for our betterment in coming up copies. So until that, take care and goodbye.
You too, have a great day.